everybody, and welcome to Hit the Books' review of NXT Takeover War Games and Survivor Series 2019. I am your host, Ryan 19. With me, as always, is my friend Mikey Manfredi. Mikey, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. I'm ready to talk about War Games and Survivor Series, some of the big five pay-per-views, and the important thing, Takeover.
So, yeah, we'll get a little bit of those intros and pauses out of the way, but a big show, one of those big five pay-per-views, of course, like you talked about. I watched all of it later than everyone else on a delay.
I watched them both live.
Thoughts and feelings about the weekend. We'll talk about the overall positives of War Games and Survivor Series, and then go match by match. But just we're going to go big picture and get smaller by smaller. But big picture, thoughts on the weekend.
It was fine. Honestly, my whole thoughts on the weekend were it was fine. Mm-hmm. War Games was good. War Games was great. Survivor Series was good at worst. So I don't know. I think it was all weekend fine. Not awful.
I would agree with that. I thought War Games was solid. I thought it was good to great, and I thought Survivor Series was okay to good. There was some stuff that was drawing. There were a lot of things I learned where it's just like people talk about how in WWE they don't make stars, right?
Yeah.
And I think it's interesting that some stars were made this weekend.
Definitely. But
there's also a thing about how WWE maybe not make stars all the time, but when they leave Raw or SmackDown, they're huge. Mm-hmm. Let me make it even more clear. They don't make stars. They introduce the world to these people.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. If that analogy makes sense to everyone.
Got it.
Yes, but Mikey, let's get into it. Let's start talking about these individual pay-per-views. We're going to start talking about what's some of the overall positives of Takeover War Games out of Chicago, Illinois.
There was a lot of positives. I think a lot of people came out looking great. We got big pops. We got character changes that were kind of needed. And I think overall, lots of positive stuff.
Yeah, I agree. I think a lot of positives with the show is just it was consistently good. There were some weak moments, but even those weak moments were good, Mm-hmm. And yeah, I think it showcased in the war between WWE, specifically NXT and AEW. I think this weekend, especially Takeover War Games,
went to NXT hands down.
Yeah, overall the thing went to NXT, but this weekend was a good way of setting up NXT better for the future. They talk about marathon versus a sprint.
Mm-hmm.
This is a good way. This weekend might have set up NXT as a brand. Hopefully, they don't need to hot shot some more main roster guys into the NXT, but this might be a good way to introduce more people to the broader scope of NXT.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm interested by that at the very least. But I thought it was positives. I think I would give it an A, maybe A plus. A lot of great things, especially for the women's division.
I agree with an A.
I think the women overall were the best part about NXT.
I agree. Well, I know my favorite part, but
was it the pre-show match?
Obviously.
No, yeah, I think to me the women were the best part of the show. They were my big overall positive moment. If I had to pick one, which we're only allowed to pick one. That's moving forward canon. We're one pick for overall positive. My pick would be the women. I think the women were golden stars.
Yep.
They were amazing. And we'll talk about that more when we go match by match. But Mikey, what's one negative that he had from the weekend?
One negative.
It's tough because it was overall good, right?
Yeah, overall it was pretty good. That's why it's overall negative. Honestly, having to last minute replace Johnny Gargano. And the fact that during the Finn Balor versus Matt Riddle match, the only thing my brain can think was, how much better would this be if it was Balor versus Gargano? Not that it wasn't a good match. It's just I couldn't stop thinking about, God damn, I want to see Balor fight Gargano.
I mean, yeah, I agree with like the negative of it wanting to be Gargano, however you pronounce it. But to me, the negative might have been actually Finn Balor in that regard, similar in the vein of what you're saying. But like something about Finn Balor, just like I was watching this match and it was just like it felt like there was just a lot of rest holds. And I get it, Matt Riddle is a submission guy, so he's going to do submission moves. But it was also like just rest holds from Balor because he was doing more grounded stuff, being the heel and being against Matt Riddle. So Gargano might have been a better matchup and maybe would have gotten a better showing out of Balor, but it was just felt like, it felt like any sort of like good Raw or SmackDown main event to me.
That's fair.
So it was still a good match, and the ending really hyped me up more. But I was sort of down on it compared to other people, and it was just sort of like this felt like a good main roster, if you were Raw and SmackDown, main event.
Yeah,
that was my take on it. That's my negative about it. But again, we'll talk about it individual match by match. But yeah, Mikey, let's get into it. Let's start talking about those matches by matches. We're going to open up with the pre-show quickly. Angel Garza defeated Isaiah Swerve Scott on the pre-show. Of course, this was the first pre-show match ever for NXT, by the way.
I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I didn't see it.
That's fine.
I got home too late. I missed the kickoff show, but I made the main show.
The main show. That's one all okay in my book. I watched it. I did watch it live on the TV, the live stream. I thought it was good. I thought it was good. I'll just say right now, Mikey, I gave it a 3.25 stars.
Okay.
On this bad boy. I thought it was a good match. I thought, Angel Garza, Isaiah Swerve Scott, two people that were introduced in the breakout tournament, they were able to showcase a lot of their good talent. And they put on a good match. It was a solid, good match. And, I thought Isaiah Swerve Scott's got something. He's got a little bit of a charisma, but I think he hasn't tapped wholly into it. I think there's something still lacking. Maybe it's like an edge, you haven't watched Lucha Underground yet, have you?
No, haven't gotten there yet.
But Isaiah Swerve Scott is in Lucha Underground. He plays Killshot.
Okay.
And Killshot was very interesting, and I loved Killshot because he always had that edge, right? So he was like a sniper kind of guy, former military sniper kind of dude.
Okay.
That wore a mask, so he was kind of cool. But it was like that, and it was just he had this edge to him. That he was still he still was able to do these all amazing moves like Isaiah Swerve Scott can do, but Isaiah Swerve Scott has turned that edge into confidence, swerve,
Gotcha.
that sort of stuff, and it's just it feels like it's lacking a little bit compared to that Killshot character that he used to play, and I just wish that he could maybe dive into that, maybe not edge per se, but just bring it out more. But maybe it's because he hasn't gotten the feud yet. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
Him and Garza are two of those people that are just sort of like Cameron Grimes, a lot of these people that are just sort of they're the mid-card guys, low-card guys that we don't really know what to do with them right now. Mm-hmm. we're just sort of shuffling them around. But yeah, that's what I thought. But let's get into it. Let's get into the main show, which was the first War Games match for the women.
I'm sorry, the first what?
I think you actually need to do this one, Mikey. I think you serve this more justice.
It was the first War Games match.
Yeah, there we go, baby.
Of the night.
It was Team Ripley, which was Rhea Ripley, Candice LeRae, Tegan Nox, and the loser, I'll take that back, not loser, the betrayer, Dakota Kai, defeating Team Baszler, Shayna Baszler, Bianca Belair, Io Shirai, and Kaylee Ray. Mikey, thoughts on the first ever female women's War Games match?
So we know before the match, Mia Yim got attacked and wasn't able to compete. Which now we're all pretty sure it was Dakota Kai.
Mm-hmm. I would love if they were just it wasn't her. It was someone else.
Surprisingly enough. But yeah, I guess I'm going to start off with the big elephant in the room. Dakota Kai's heel turn. Mm-hmm. Very bold move for the captain of Team Kick, which I guess is no more. I
guess that's right.
I would like just calling her the captain. That's it.
Ooh, the captain, Dakota Kai.
The captain of NXT.
Ooh.
Okay. So, Dakota Kai turning heel, I think it was very good for her character. I think it was a good build up to it when she didn't get picked for the War Games team, and I bet. And it was cool because I was thinking, like, wow, Rhea Ripley's probably thinking, like, why did I say she didn't have that killer edge? Like, it's that line playing. It's like the Thor in Endgame where it's like, well, I should have gone for the head, you know?
Yeah. Ooh. Oh, interesting. I didn't think about that as, like, she sort of got that Thor mentality of, like...
She told Dakota Kai she didn't have any killer instincts, so she wasn't part of the team, and then Dakota Kai was like, oh, yeah, watch me.
I was watching this moment with my girlfriend, and she was saying that, like, why is she attacking Tegan Nox versus Rhea Ripley?
Oh, because Tegan Nox is the friend. Also, I think it's Tegan Nox because when Ripley was like, no, you're not on the team, Tegan Nox didn't fight it at all.
Which was my response to her, was I don't know if... You know, she didn't defend her in any capacity.
She didn't step up for her friend and been like, wait a minute now. Like, there was nothing. Tegan Nox was like, well, that's it. Bye.
Mm-hmm. Plus, you can get two rivalries out of it. You can get Tegan Nox rivalry and a Rhea Ripley rivalry out of it. So, two birds, one stone. But about the match itself, Mikey, what was your meatball rating? What was your star rating on this bad boy?
My meatball rating for this was a 4.75 because this match was fucking awesome.
Ooh, 4.75. I love it. Yeah.
Rhea Ripley came out looking like a star and a half, my dude.
Mm-hmm.
Buck wild. Yeah, I was super into it. Rhea Ripley looked awesome. Candice LeRae looked awesome. Yeah, it was great.
I also thought this match was amazing. I said it was as good as the NXT Takeover New Orleans ladder match for the inaugural NXT North American Championship.
Really? That's big praise. That match was probably 5. That match was 5.0.
Exactly, and that is why I gave this match 5.0.
God, now I want to go back and watch that match.
This match, Mikey. This is the first 5 stars I've given any match since we started this podcast.
Wild.
Yeah, I thought this match was amazing. I thought it did exactly what it needed to do between Nox and Dakota Kai, making a 4-2 lead with Ripley over LeRae, and LeRae and Ripley getting the victory. I thought Ripley looked like a star and a half. LeRae also looked good, but obviously wasn't the star coming out of it compared to Ripley, because Ripley was given more of those big moments, especially the pinfall victory over Baszler.
I'm never gonna get over the line where she's like, "You can't run away if you're stuck to me."
Mm-hmm.
That was sick. That was
Io
absolutely
Shirai did an amazing job, of course, doing the moonsault off the top. Kaylee Ray and Belair held their own. I thought they were a great part. I thought Kaylee Ray did a great job of just like selling that poison Rana off the top rope by Candice LeRae to Kaylee Ray, or just spiking Kaylee Ray's head onto the canvas. I was like, that was brutal to look at. And yeah, like I said, 5 stars. I thought this was the match of the weekend.
Nice.
It was just, this match was so good. This match was so good. I could watch this match over and over again, honestly. I love this match. Let's keep moving along. Triple threat match to determine number 1 contender for the NXT Championship at Survivor Series. It was Pete Dunne who defeated Damian Priest and Killian Dane. Mikey, thoughts?
I thought this match was great. I loved it. I was super into it. I really like Damian Priest, actually. I came out like not really knowing who Damian Priest was at all, because I haven't been really watching like NXT on USA because, Dynamite. But Damian Priest to me stuck out in this match, and I really liked him. And I always love Pete Dunne, of course, and Killian Dane's just awesome. He's just a big, scary monster dude that everybody needs. And he played a great role in this triple threat. And I think Pete Dunne coming out on top was the right choice.
Totally agree. Pete Dunne coming out it was the obvious choice, really. For showcasing the brand to the worldwide stage at Survivor Series. Damian Priest, Damian Priest is a guy you don't expect to wrestle like he does, if that makes sense. Like, like you didn't really you wouldn't really expect all those things. He's got a Luchasaurus vibe to him in terms of his size and his wrestling acumen. Killian Dane, the solid mid card brawler. He goes in and just becomes a hoss. We're never going to expect Killian Dane maybe to have a title with him.
Yeah.
But, he's just going to go in there and just wreck people up or whatnot. Which is good. Exactly what it needs to do. But I thought this was a good match. I thought this was a solid match. I gave this match what did I give this match? I gave this match a solid 3 stars on this one. That was a solid, good match.
Yep. I totally agree.
Didn't blow me away. Completely made sense with Pete Dunne. I loved my favorite bit of this entire match was Dunne and Dane both down for the count. Priest just got a pinfall. Not pinfall, but I believe Dunne or something. Someone kicked out of a pinfall. And then while Priest is like kneeling there, like breathing, Dunne like pats on his leg and then grabs his hand and then tries to go for a finger break, and Damian Priest just slaps his hand away. Like, what are you doing?
No, stop it. Hey.
It's just a perfect tiny moment. Not talking about on commentary at all, but it was just a perfect solid moment that I loved.
Hey, stop it. No, it's my finger.
Yeah, I think they have plans for Priest, and I don't think this was the exact moment really for him to be showcased.
This match felt kind of safe to me.
I would be honest. Yeah, it did feel safe. It did feel safe, and I think they have plans for Priest, but obviously the more important thing was to get Dunne over. I don't know. Would this match, I don't know. If Johnny Gargano was still available, would this match would have been a number 1 contender match? Maybe Balor Gargano would have number 1 contender. Maybe not. I don't know. But yeah, I thought it was a good match. Pete Dunne getting the win. I thought it showcased them all great. Mikey, let's keep moving on. Finn Balor defeated Matt Riddle in a singles match, 14 minutes. I gave this match, like I said it was still a good match, but I did give it 2 3/4 stars.
Yeah, I'm sticking with 3. I thought it was fine. It wasn't like amazing. It wasn't nothing though. Like, it was nice. It was a good solid Finn Balor match.
It was this thing that you talked about where it's just sort of like this match. I don't want to say should, but this match definitely felt like it should have been better to a certain extent.
Mm-hmm.
It's just sort of like, I wanted this match to be better. I wanted this match to be maybe, like you said, maybe if Gargano was involved, this match would have been better, but it just felt like sort of rest holds. And we sort of talked about at the beginning. It wasn't as good as I wanted it to be, or it might have been on paper. And maybe it's because Balor and Riddle maybe didn't really have chemistry or whatever the hell it was. But to me, it was the lower point of the match, lower point of the card, I would guess.
Yeah, it was fine.
All right, well, let's keep moving along. We sort of talked about it already. But let's talk about the final War Games match. And that was, of course, Team Ciampa getting the victory. That's Tommaso Ciampa, Keith Lee, Dominic Dijakovic, and I don't want to say returning, but a surprise 4th man of Kevin Owens, who ended up defeating the Undisputed Era, Adam Cole, Bobby Fish, Kyle O'Reilly, and Roderick Strong. Mikey, as a huge Kevin Owens fan, how big was your pop?
Oh, my heart was so full. My heart was so very full. I was eating Taco Bell during this, and I almost threw my chalupa across the room.
Oh my God. And you're a huge fan of Taco Bell, so this was huge.
I was like, in my brain, I was like, who is it gonna be? It's like, it can't be Gargano, he's hurt. I was trying to think of like the rest of the NXT. I was like, maybe Aleister Black is making a return or something. Mm-hmm. And then I was sitting on my couch and I heard and I was like, and I died.
That's
and he came out in his original NXT gear. He came out doing the big heavy breathing thing he did when he was in NXT, where he came out and he was like, and he was like breathing really hard. He was in his OG NXT shirt with the tape, the KO tape. It was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
He had his original Titantron. Everything was just classic Kevin Owens, and it couldn't have been better. And then, of course, he gets in the ring and immediately takes a fucking Panama Sunrise onto the metal.
Which I feel like that was his only big boy spot that happened, right?
He splash through a table.
That's true, but he didn't get hit by that. He didn't go through the table.
No, but Still, that was a
But
crazy spot.
Oh yeah, so crazy spot. But yeah, Kevin Owens is a big surprise.
Also, I love when Kevin Owens came in and they showed Adam Cole. And I was like,
perfect. That Kevin Owens and Adam Cole.
Give me that Ring of Honor. Give me that.
Great segment between Owens and Adam Cole. It was just great. It just felt like a PWG spot fest, which I'm a fan of, but it was just so good. The good table spots. I gotta give personal props to Tommaso Ciampa and Adam Cole. The level of trust that Adam Cole had to have in Ciampa and that last spot.
I was fucking terrified.
Like, if you
I
notice,
was like, Ciampa, you just got your neck fixed. What are you doing, my dude?
But not only doing the spot, Mikey, but preparing for the spot. Like, Ciampa put Cole on his shoulders, and then had to stand there for 10 seconds or whatever, however long it was, to adjust his footing to stand, because it's
to do that drop that he does.
Yeah, he put him on his back and then had to adjust his footing to prepare it because he was in the middle of the thing and then he had to stand on top of it, so he had to stand up onto the thing a little bit. Adam Cole, the level of trust Adam Cole had to have in Ciampa to just be like, don't drop me, let's not fall early, let's get this right. Don't drop me.
And they got it right and it looked fucking amazing.
Yeah. It looked great. I thought it was a great match. Mikey, what was your meatball rating?
I gave this one a 4.5 because I gave it a 4 because the match was awesome, and then I gave it an extra 0.5 because Kevin Owens was there.
Fair enough. I gave this match a 4.
I got surprised Kevin Owens, and my heart was a flutter.
A surprise Kevin Owens is an automatic bump for you.
Oh yeah,
these meatball stars. Yeah, I thought
surprise OG Kevin Owens nonetheless.
That's true. The original Titantron as well is just amazing.
So cool. It was so cool.
Well, yeah, great show overall. I thought, like we said, top down great, top down good to great. War Games, baby.
War Games.
God, shout out to Willie Reegs. Willie Reegs indeed. Hold on. That's a great idea.
Also, if you're thinking Johnny Gargano didn't get hurt, Matt Riddle would have been in Kevin Owens' place.
That's true. And
right?
No, it was Donovan Dijakovic replaced Riddle.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, okay. The fourth man was always an empty spot.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was I thought the original plan was Ciampa, Keith Lee, Dijakovic, and Riddle. And then Balor versus Gargano. But then since Gargano got hurt, Riddle had to move, so the spot was open. My bad.
No, you're good. I feel like that's a solid thought to have, but no, it was the fourth man was always a thing.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
People thought it was Dream. Then they teased the Kevin Owens stuff. People also thought it could have been John Morrison.
Yeah, I thought my two thoughts were, I did not think Kevin Owens at all. My thoughts were it's got to be Dream or Aleister Black or something, right? It's got to be somebody big. There was a point where I also thought Ricochet maybe.
That could be fun. That could have been fun.
I was it's got to be somebody who is either somebody like Buck Wild or someone who just recently left NXT.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I also can't think about NXT without thinking about how different stories could have been told or whatever. How different this card could have been if it was pre-taped. If they weren't live on USA and had time to think about things.
Yeah.
I always think about that sometimes. Anyways, Mikey, let's get into it. Let's start talking about Survivor Series 2019. Also took place in Chicago, Illinois, obviously. Mikey,
I'm going to preface this by saying I missed this pre-show as well.
That's fine. I'll be honest, didn't miss much. But there were 3 pre-show matches. But before we get to that, Mikey, what was your one positive? Well, let's flip it around. What's your one negative about Survivor Series? And I want to end on a positive note. But what's your one negative about Survivor Series this year?
They couldn't just let NXT have it at the end.
Oh, okay.
They just had to. Look, I love Becky Lynch as much as the next guy, but just let Shayna stand tall at the end, man. Just let her celebrate for NXT. I really wanted Papa H to come out with the whole NXT roster and celebrate.
Like how we booked it.
Yeah. That's what I wanted. I wanted Pop H to come out with the rest of the NXT roster and give hugs and him just be like, NXT fucking rules.
He just pops hard. He's just like, he turns into a mark for his own brand.
But instead we got Becky Lynch standing tall for whatever reason.
Yeah, we talked about how it's sort of foolish.
It just seems very random.
It doesn't seem random to me because they want to push Becky as the I would say that she's the top dog. But there is this element that, like, it was ironically funny that she lost the match, and then as she's celebrating, they show the graphic of
NXT Raw getting one win,
reminding us that she lost.
I guess they wanted Raw to stand tall at the end because of that, I guess, is the issue. But, like, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I don't know. It seemed weird.
My one negative for Survivor Series this year was, honestly, and I don't think it was originally, but I think it was moving the Champions Tag Team Triple Threat match, Viking Raiders, New Day, Undisputed Era, to the pre-show, and producing it the way it was produced.
I didn't see it, so that one's all you.
Yeah, we'll get to that. So I guess we'll get to it real quickly.
So one positive, real quick.
One positive. We'll do one positive. Mikey, my one positive will then be. Actually, I want you to go give me your one positive first. I think because we're gonna take a minute to talk about my one positive.
My one positive. Keith Lee, baby.
Keith Lee, baby.
Keith Lee came out looking like a mega star.
Right. People talked about, like, who's Mr. November, right? Adam Cole is Mr. November. Miss November is easily Rhea Ripley, but November Jr.
Hands down.
November Jr., the little baby November, Keith Lee.
Easy.
Squeaking out the rest of November with an amazing showing in that Survivor Series encounter.
Very good. Just everything about it was good. Keith Lee looks like a mega star, and he deserves it.
All right, well, my one positive, Mikey, and the reason I want to take a moment to talk about this is that my one positive is not going to go to WWE, but going, I guess, into our Hit the Books randomizer.
Our
Mikey,
God.
we have to talk about this.
No, you're right. We do.
So, WWE ended their night. Raw, 1 win. SmackDown, 2 wins. NXT, 4 wins. Right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And this was wild to Mikey and I, mainly because a couple weeks ago, we released our flagship show, Hit the Books, where we're doing realistic fantasy booking. So we have our own pay-per-view of Survivor Series, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so we booked the matches. And, of course, we have these cross-branded matches. And, of course, in these cross-branded matches, we have... this was, of course, a couple weeks ago. I don't have the actual date of when that match...
But it was about 2 weeks before Survivor Series.
Yeah, it was about 2 weeks before
the real Survivor Series.
And we booked the matches, and how we decided the results of it, because we couldn't decide about how NXT or Raw, really. We had the randomizer choose the outcome of that. Mikey, no joke, the randomizer decided 2 weeks before Survivor Series that Raw gets 1 win, SmackDown got 2, NXT got 4.
That's wild. We literally on the nose we predicted it.
We didn't predict anything.
Literally on the nose, our randomizer gave that to us.
The randomizer,
the exact outcome of the real NXT.
Of the real brand overall scores. Our randomizer on the nose. 100% correct. What are the odds of that, Mikey?
I don't know, man. That's wild.
And of course, it didn't get this. And I was trying to think of how to do the statistics and all the numbers for it, because it's tough. Because it also didn't get the individual matches correct. It just got the overall score. It didn't get for example,
we didn't end up with Baszler versus Lynch versus Bailey.
Yeah, and because of how our show's booked,
we did get Baszler and Lynch though, which was interesting.
We got that personally correct. But even then, Baszler is on SmackDown, so that was a win for SmackDown. But even so, like we couldn't get the individual matches correct for obvious reasons, but we got the overall match score correct out of 7 matches.
And this isn't the first thing that's happened on our show. That's been a very big coincidence.
We've had
what was it for
times.
What was it for SummerSlam? We booked that submission match.
Yes, we booked this Natalia Charlotte Flair submission match that happened in
Except
real life.
In real life, it ended up being Natalia Becky, but it was still a submission match, which was like weird.
That involved Natalia.
Yeah.
There were several moments last year. I would love a supercut of that, but there was just so many moments that our randomizer got correctly over the year, or us. We had this running tagline that like, there's one of us is a WWE stooge, or there's a stooge listening to us.
There's somebody inside WWE listening to this podcast.
Whatever the case may be.
And if you're listening to this review of Survivor Series right now, if you're the inside WWE guy, DM us, hit us up. We won't write you out. We promise.
I just want a free T-shirt.
We just want to know who you are. We just want to know what's up.
Is it Gabe Sapolsky?
Let's talk. Let's have a nice talk.
Is it Road Dogg? But it's just there are random. What are the odds out of 7 possible matches? Not 7 possible matches. 7 matches. It got 100% of the correct outcome.
We promise we'll keep you anonymous.
It's just that blew my mind last night thinking about it, and it's just like the fact that existed is insane. We're not hyping ourselves up. It's just the fact that like the thought went into WWE presumably to have like, oh, then NXT wins that, and then this is the final score. We randomly picked that. The randomizer randomly decided that.
I would say at first too, we had it was 4-2-0, and then our randomizer picked that we had to add a match, which then our randomizer picked that Raw won to give them that 1 point.
It fixed itself.
Like that 1 point for Raw had to go through 2 different randomizers.
It picked itself. Mikey and I both rolled the randomizer. I don't remember who it was. You got it. I got it. We got the thing that was like add a match. Mm-hmm. We added the match. Randomizer decided Raw won that match. What are the freaking odds? It fixed itself. The odds of that happening on top of all of it are insane.
It's buck wild, honestly. I don't get how it happens.
It's a god. The randomizer is a god, and it is confirmed. We joked that it's a god. It's a joke that it's this thing that we have to praise. The statistical odds of that happening are so slim that it is insane that is the outcome. That is what happened. I totally forgot that it fixed itself too, Mikey. Like,
yeah,
it fixed its own problem, and it did not only get it correct, but it was like, oh, we're missing a match. Here, add another match. Okay, and Raw wins it.
It's wild. It's just wild.
It blew my mind. Jesus, Mikey. Jesus blows my mind still. Yeah. Blows my mind still. Okay, well, let's get into it. I'm going to run down real quickly because, Mikey, of course, you didn't watch the pre-show, so I'll talk about what happened on the pre-show. Pre-show was Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode winning the 10-team Interbrand Tag Team Battle Royal, last eliminating the Street Profits. Then there was the Interbrand Triple Threat match for the NXT Cruiserweight Championship, where it was Lio Rush able to retain his title against Akira Tozawa and Kalisto. And then it was the Viking Raiders who defeated the New Day and the Undisputed Era in a Champions Triple Threat Tag Team match. Mikey, my quick thoughts about that were Battle Royal I gave it 1.5 stars. Skippable, easily skippable. Okay. You don't need to see it. Nothing really exciting happened in it. The NXT teams that were in it, it was like the Forgotten Sons. It was like Breezango. It was like it was no one of import, Mm-hmm. The tag team scene in NXT right now is probably not that good. especially since Viking Raiders left, Street Profits left, Undisputed Era are the tag team. They need to build up their tag teams, and they need to desperately do that soon.
Yeah.
Leo Rush obviously made sense. I gave this match what did I give this match? I gave this match 2 stars. One thing I picked up on this match is that the crowd was completely dead, it felt like, and it was mainly because it was empty crowd. And they were getting there a little bit, but I thought there were some interesting parts with Tozawa and Kalisto sort of working together against NXT, which sort of set the mold for the rest of the night. Mm-hmm. But there were moves that like Kalisto were doing that did not get a pop from the crowd, but there were moves that Rey Fenix has done on AEW that got pops. And just showed him, and it really what showed me was that like WWE is not cool. AEW is cool. And I don't want to talk about like AEW too much.
Hip as hell, guys.
But like Phoenix does a move, big pop, the crowd loves it, and everyone loves it. Kalisto does a move on the pre-show, same exact move, doesn't get anything. Because no one cares. No one cares. And it's not like
it's the book. It's just how they're booked. It all comes down to how they're booked.
It comes down to booking, it comes down to just like overall excitement levels. Like, I mean, it's just like whatever. It's like no one cares. It's on the pre-show, so it's like no one cares. And then the Champions Triple Threat tag match. Some people like this match, but I gave this 1 3/4 match of 1 3/4. I said it was actually a little bit worse than the NXT Cruiserweight match.
Yikes!
My big disappointment, like I said before, was that this was relegated to the pre-show. Mm-hmm. And maybe it was relegated because they needed more time in the actual main card. Maybe it was because they weren't clicking or whatever, and it wasn't produced to be a good match. But I thought this match was not great. Nothing excited me about this match. New Day did a cool spot. Undisputed Era are tiny. Like, them standing next to Kofi Kingston, I was like, Jesus, they're tiny. Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly. And that's something that the entire night. NXT is just a tiny brand.
Damn.
Compared to everyone else. It was just like everyone else are giants compared to NXT people. But it, nothing really excited me about this match. It was just sort of like on, and I was just like, okay, whatever. It was just like it was a match. I didn't really get excited about it. Some people loved it, and I was just like, maybe, I think part of it was also like no one was hyped about Undisputed Era. Also counteracted with the Kalisto stuff I talked about earlier, was just like Undisputed Era at War Games, huge pop. Here, didn't felt like anything new.
Yeah.
They also didn't really, Undisputed Era, I'll be honest, didn't really do much in this match. They were fine, but like the entire match was like, I expected more. I think the problem is I expected more out of this match than what was given to us.
Gotcha.
But yeah, that's my thoughts on the pre-show. I thought the pre-show kind of sucked. Easily skippable, so Mikey, you did not miss out on that. Let's get into the main card. Main card starting with the 5-on-5-on-5 Women's Survivor Series Triple Threat Elimination match, where the winners were Team NXT. Mikey, thoughts on this?
This was a good match. I enjoyed it. It was completely fine. I like Rhea Ripley pinning Sasha Banks. That's huge. Yeah, I liked it a lot.
I gave this match 2 3/4 stars. Good match, solid. It was okay. Good match. The Candice LeRae, Io Shirai stuff was sort of like, okay, sure. Mm-hmm. Why do they go out any different between Rhea Ripley and Bianca Belair? Yeah. Why them, not Bianca?
And they just came back later and they were fine. They probably didn't even have to leave the match in the first place. If they let them sit off this to the side for 5 minutes, they'd have been like, all right, let's fight again.
Yeah, now it's also a little bit confusing. Team Raw, they're setting up the Asuka Flair, Kairi Sane stuff.
Yeah.
Sarah Logan showcased a little bit of it, but it was okay. Team SmackDown, Sasha Banks did great. Nikki Cross, a little bit. Lacey Evans, all these people are sort of okay. Yeah. I don't know. I think it was also like a 5-on-5-on-5 match. So they're setting up and doing all these things.
It's hard. The Survivor Series matches are hard books.
And add on 5 extra people than it usually is, even harder. And I think doing that hurt the matches themselves. Like, I think this weekend was mostly used to put over NXT, right?
Yeah.
But I think because of doing that, like this match, or a lot of the other triple threats, it sort of hurt the match's quality because of that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you can only do so many triple threat spots. But I thought it was good. I thought Ripley getting a win ended, the Miss November week that she's been having.
Mm-hmm.
She's pinned Banks. She's pinned. I don't know if she pinned
Banks. She pinned Baszler.
She pinned Flair.
Mm-hmm.
She had a match against Becky. I don't think she pinned her because I think that got interrupted by Baszler. But, it was good. It was a good. Rhea Ripley is the star. I do want to talk about that, Mikey. Of all the women that are on Team NXT, the person that WWE has chosen to push as the future star is Rhea Ripley.
Which is good.
Which is good. I'm not saying that's a bad choice. I'm just saying that I'm just interested in the fact that they chose her over Bianca, over Candice, over Io, and over Tony.
I like that Tony was in this match because I love Tony.
Oh, me too. I love all of these women. But I think it's just interesting to me. Like, there's something, and we'll talk about it in the men's match. Oh, my God. We'll talk about it definitely in the men's match. But there's something like to be said that, like, WB has chosen Rhea Ripley as the future person. And not Candice, not Bianca, not Io, not Tony. They chose Rhea. And I'm not saying that's bad. I'm just saying that's interesting. That should be noted.
Yeah.
Of all those women, they've decided, like, no, not these people. And maybe it's because everyone else has sort of already had their stuff outside of WWE. They don't need to. But, like, it's just interesting. I just think that should be noted.
Yeah. I agree.
Let's keep moving along. Mikey, what was your meatball? Oh, you were 3 on this, weren't you?
Yeah.
Let's keep moving along then to the triple threat match. We have the mid-card title people, which was Roderick Strong defeated AJ Styles and Shinsuke Nakamura. Mikey, thoughts on this match?
This match was solid. A lot of good spots, a lot of crazy stuff. Everyone got their chance to look good, and I like Roderick Strong getting the sneaky victory.
Yeah, I agree. Completely good match. I thought the finish was really great. Roderick Strong getting the roll-up on Nakamura, stealing it. Not the roll-up, but stealing the victory away from Styles.
Yeah, Styles hit that phenomenal forearm, and then Roderick Strong stuck in the ring and was like, nope.
I think this match... I think this match was really, really good. I think some people maybe by some people, I think I also me. I think my expectations were a little bit too high for this match. Mm-hmm. It was still really strong. I think my expectations thought it'd be like 5-star classic.
Yeah.
Which I think is partly like the internet sort of hype machine. But this match was good. This match was really, really good. I gave it 3.5 stars.
Yeah, I'm about the same.
It just, for some reason, my brain going into this was like, this would be the match of the night. This is going to be the beautiful baby boy of the show.
Mm-hmm.
But it wasn't, but it was still a great match.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about the match of the night for a lot of people, Mikey, and maybe for us as well. And that was Adam Cole defeating Pete Dunne to retain the NXT Championship. Mikey, thoughts on this?
This was definitely my match of the night. Mm-hmm. These two competitors are just amazing. They're both incredible in the ring, and I think everyone knew that this match was going to be great. Because Pete Dunne's great, Adam Cole's great.
Let's talk about that finish.
That reversal into the Panama Sunrise to the last shot. Oh my god.
Oh my god. And we also props for Adam Cole for the past several months, right?
Yeah. Adam Cole's been on a tear.
By tear. I mean, he has a broken wrist. He's wrestled Bryan. He's wrestled Rollins. He's had a ladder match on NXT. He's had the War Games match. And then he had this match. Don't have him wrestle for a little bit. Let him heal, because he's done his time. He's done his work.
Break.
He deserves a little bit of a break. I was like, oh my god, Adam Cole.
Also, what we didn't talk about in War Games last night. Not that it's important, but they did show Britt Baker.
They did. Apparently, that was an accident.
That makes it so much better.
according to Triple H, he did acknowledge that. According to Triple H,
so much funnier.
The that was not meant to happen. They didn't want to showcase Britt Baker.
Somebody probably thought it was a concerned fan.
Exactly. No, that's exactly what the thing said. They said
I knew
that
I knew it.
The camera
I knew
guy
that had to be the case.
the camera guy just wanted to find the most concerned face in the entire crowd.
And it just happened to be Adam Cole's girlfriend.
Exactly. And Triple H actually said that he's like worried that might put her in an awkward position at AEW and didn't mean to do that. I thought to myself, like, no, wouldn't AEW wouldn't care. Like,
Yeah, right?
Like, oh, cool.
Dude, this is the shit they want. They're like, oh, we got what? Oh, they showed one of us on WWE. Perfect.
Cool. The internet, our fans would love that. Exactly. It's like exactly what they would have wanted. And they're like, and they're not going to be upset about her for.
Mauro Ranallo even called her out too. Like, they didn't call her out, but like when she came up, he's like, that's Adam Cole's girlfriend, Britt Baker, and it was like, whoa.
Yeah, it's just like, acknowledge it. I mean, AEW is not going to be upset about that because it's like, okay, cool. People may know who she is as a wrestler and stuff. They didn't talk about it as a wrestler, but they're like, cool, they know that. But also, like, they okayed of her talking about it on social media, you know.
Yeah, like just like they were okay with Renee Young talking about Jon Moxley's match.
Yeah, that was like they don't.
I still feel bad for Renee after that.
Yeah, oh my god. Let's keep moving on. Okay, so Adam Cole, Pete Dunne.
He owes her an apology and some flowers and a dinner.
Adam Cole, Pete Dunne. I thought this was a great match. I gave it 4 stars.
Yeah, I gave it 4.25.
I thought it was good a little bit in the beginning, and then it really picked up by the end at that finish sequence. Oh,
so good.
Oh my god, it was so good, baby. It was so good. Adam Cole winning. Right decision?
Yeah, I think so.
Who do you think is going to take the title from Adam Cole?
That is a big question.
And why is it Shorty G?
I think it's going to be Dream.
Velveteen Dream?
Yeah.
I would agree with that. I don't see Gargano having
He
it
hasn't gotten
again.
his time with the NXT Championship yet, Velveteen Dream, and I think he's going to get it soon.
Mm-hmm. I think there's a certain... I think 2020. They're just waiting until 2020.
Yeah.
The new year to come. There's not going to be a takeover at the Royal Rumble weekend. There's going to be a Worlds Collide.
Mm-hmm.
That could always have Dream win again and then challenge for the NXT title.
Yeah.
At WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, at WrestleMania weekend. But whoever it is, I think whoever's going to win the title from Cole, it will be at that WrestleMania takeover.
Yeah.
In, was it Tampa? Takeover Tampa.
Mm-hmm.
Takeover Champa.
Takeover Champa.
Ooh, there's something there. Start working on your graphics.
Takeover Champa. No one will survive.
Yeah, and then just like a hurricane happens. Fuck, that's a dark joke. Anyways, speaking of dark, Fiend Bray Wyatt defeated Daniel Bryan in a 10-minute match to retain the WWE Universal Championship. Mikey, thoughts?
Nah.
They gave these guys 10 minutes for a Universal title? NXT Championship had 14 more minutes than them.
Nah.
Oh my god! Actually, on the main card, Mikey. Well, I guess it's not a surprise. I take that back. There were Survivor Series matches that happened here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thoughts on this match, Mikey?
Nah. Fine. Which is not. You know what? It's. I'm gonna say something here. It was meh, and that really fucking sucks to say because it was goddamn Bray Wyatt versus Daniel Bryan. That match should have been a banger, and it wasn't.
Yeah. Yeah.
That match should have easily been 5 Meatball, but it was not, and that sucks.
What do you think is the issue with that? Like I'm thinking about it. It's just like the Fiend.
I think after that,
the Fiend is such a cool concept, right? And the Firefly Funhouse is such a cool concept that we all loved. And then once we got the Fiend against Balor, it was awesome. He's attacking these legends and everything. But then once he's going for the title, and then like we see the red light gimmick is its own thing, but in the matches themselves, there's something it's missing, right? It's like something's not clicking or something. What do you think about that?
Something, yeah, it doesn't click as well as it did in that Finn Balor match. Like something wasn't there. Like in that Finn Balor match, it was awesome. That match was sweet. Like the first Fiend match was sick. Everyone was so behind him, and it was like they cannot fuck this up. And then they threw him right into the title picture and fucked it up. That was the one thing they shouldn't have done.
I think thinking about it, it's just like the Fiend needs to be domination, right? Like he needs to dominate the foes, and that's why the Finn Balor match is so dope.
Yeah, it can't be like. It has
The
to be
problem,
somebody. It has to be somebody like really, really big for it to be like a match, right?
the problem with Fiend overall, honestly, is the fact that the Fiend is a character that also like no sells sometimes.
Yeah, like those, like the yes kicks where you just kept getting up.
Mm-hmm. Or the stomps and everything, and then after the Hell in a Cell victory where the disqualification happened, the Fiend just got up.
Mm-hmm.
The Fiend like no sells, like all the time.
So it's like, what are all the rest of these moves doing to him if he's? It feels like every move should just bounce off of him, right? Like it's like, why do some moves work and other moves don't?
Well, there's this. My headcanon is that like some moves work, but he's just like faking it to draw in the opponent even more, and then just like, oh, I'm alive, and then destroy them. But like I think that hurts more than it's helping.
Yeah.
And I think that's by continuously doing that, it will continuously making subpar matches for the Fiend. Because then it's also like, if that's the case,
I just don't think he needs the title. I just think he'd be way
doesn't.
better without the title. I like the character be so much cooler if he just wanted to hurt people. Like he doesn't need the belt.
No, he doesn't.
And it was just way too rushed. And I feel like his title reign isn't. It was just a way to get the Universal title to SmackDown.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and there's also something to like the thing about like who's going to beat the Fiend. We're talking about Adam Cole. Who's going to beat the Fiend? The way they've been booking it, Fiend's going to have it forever. You just no sells. It's got to be like Brock or somebody at this rate.
Brock or like a Demon Finn or something.
Which Finn's in NXT now. I don't expect that to happen anymore.
No, you're right. No, you're right. I forgot about that.
Like, is there anyone on the horizon that could do it? Like NXT that could get called up?
I don't know.
It's got to be
can't be Brock though because Brock's on the other brand. Brock's on Raw.
It's got to be someone that will just like destroy them. Like, I don't know. I think they've written themselves into a corner.
You know what? Oh no, Aleister Black's also on Raw.
Aleister Black could be cool.
I'm about to say because it's just like he feels like I feel like he knows about stuff like that. You know, he's got like the knowledge of the darkness.
Mm-hmm.
So that could be something he can use to defeat.
Then again, we're putting the Universal title on Aleister Black.
Yeah,
I would.
It's just the same. I mean, yeah, but it just I don't know. It's weird. It's hard. They back themselves into a corner by putting him in the title picture too fast, and now it's like, who's gonna beat him? Who can beat him?
Title
Nobody.
too fast, and the way the matches are done.
Yeah.
Backed into a corner. I don't know what they're gonna do. But let's keep moving along, Mikey. What was your meatball rating on that match? I gave it 2 3/4.
Yeah, same.
All right, well, let's keep moving along to the men's Survivor Series triple threat match. A lot of discussion about this match. Team SmackDown ended up getting the win. Mikey, I gave this 3.5 stars, but let's talk about it. What were your thoughts on this match?
I liked it a lot. I thought it was mostly good. There were some weird things, like Walter. He got a little bit buried in this match, so that sucked.
Yeah, I'll go on my diatribe.
Yeah, I'll let you do that because you have
continue,
stuff to say.
Continue what you're saying. I'll prep myself for Walter. For Volta.
Yeah, well, that was weird. Overall, though, I thought it was good. The last 5 minutes were insane. I just want Keith Lee and Roman Reigns to fight forever. And it's crazy how much we forgot how good Roman Reigns is because of how much he was shoved down our throats, you know? Mm-hmm. And everyone had this innate hatred for Roman, but like, Roman's good. Roman's good as hell.
The problem is that once Roman Reigns gets into the WWE Championship title picture, and I guess that's the argument they're trying to make, is that Roman's going to be the one that to take down the Fiend? Maybe.
Probably.
But
that's got to be the payoff here, right?
If he's the one that takes down the Fiend, people are going to be like, oh.
It's going to go right back to what it was.
Yeah, WWE fans have gone. WWE has
it's
taught
Superman
its fans,
Roman.
WWE has now taught its fans that like whoever is being pushed as the big top guy is being shoved down your throat, and we should hate them. Which is a galaxy brain. Like maybe we should not do that. But thoughts about this match, Mikey? I thought it was good. We're talking about star making things. Same thing with Rhea Ripley and Adam Cole. Keith Lee. That was a star making performance out of Keith Lee. I didn't like this match in terms of its eliminations a lot of the time. The way they eliminated people were kind of like ridiculous donkeys. And
I mean, Roman Reigns and Baron made sense a little bit.
But there's also a count out.
Yeah, that Braun getting counted out was weird.
That made no sense.
I guess they wanted to protect Braun, even though there's really nothing to protect anymore because they buried him already.
Yeah, Braun. We all know he's going to have a comedy spot at WrestleMania this year again. So
what I'm saying.
I don't care about Braun because he had so many opportunities to get the Universal Championship, failed every single time.
And they still try to build him as this big monster, and it's like, no.
Like
he tag teamed with a kid 2 years ago. He fought SNL guys last year.
He was in a feud with SNL writers last year.
Why should I believe this guy is still a monster? Like, why?
Yeah.
I get it when he was like throwing Kevin Owens off tops of steel cages and putting him through tables and picking him up in like porta potties and throwing him off the stage and shit.
He's a comedy monster.
Or when he was punching through ladders, yeah.
He's a comedy monster. He's just there for the comedic, like monster stuff sort of things. Mm-hmm. But speaking of monsters, let's talk about Walter. The only champion in this match, NXT UK champion Walter, eliminated pretty much right away. The first person eliminated. Mikey, it's made me very upset.
Yeah, and his signature thing wasn't even as good. Like his chops that he does were not as good as Drew McIntyre's chops.
Yeah, there were several issues with the match, and I took a lot of thinking to think about Walter and his purpose in this match. Walter's chops did not look as good. McIntyre
Walter
had
was just
better
a weird
chops than
addition
Walter.
to me to the team.
That's true.
Honestly.
They wanted to showcase UK, right? They wanted to showcase the UK a little bit. They got Tony Storm in the other one.
Bring in someone like. There's got to be somebody. I guess Walter's the biggest name there, so I can't. Really say anything. It would be Pete Dunne, but
yeah, I mean it could be Tyler Bate.
I would have taken that over Walter, honestly.
Yeah, maybe more believable. Him getting eliminated.
That's why it seemed weird that he joined the team, especially when he's like in part of Imperium, and it's like he's supposed to be better than all these people. Why is he like, yeah, I'll team up with you? Like that just seems odd.
Walter's your old school heel wrestler, right? He's got these insane chops and everything else. Yet in this match, he was showcased as just really another guy. His chops were not that good. McIntyre gave him his chops so hard that Walter's chest bled.
Yeah, that was his when McIntyre had a chop, I was like, oof. I can't wait for Walter's response. That Walter's response was like,
yeah, nothing. Not much.
Nothing.
And then he gets eliminated. And I'm sort of thinking about like
is louder.
I'm sort of thinking about like just what is Walter's purpose in this match or lack thereof. And I was thinking about like and a lot of stuff is Keith Lee was the one that was chosen out of all these people to get that big star-making performance, right?
To me, it was like I was like, oh, Walter's the big guy. Then I was like, no, but Keith Lee's in this match.
Keith Lee was a big guy, but Keith Lee can do more high-flying moves. And he's the one that apparently allegedly impressed Vince McMahon the most. So I was thinking about that, thinking about all those things in conjunction. And
he's so big.
Exactly. And he can do lucha moves. Perfect.
Oh, look at that big man fly. That's such good shit.
Bro, I was thinking about all those things in conjunction. I was thinking about, like, here's the thing. NXT, especially NXT UK, needs Walter right now. Walter cannot get called up to the main roster or whatever. I don't know if we're going to do that anymore, but Walter cannot get called up by any means necessary. He is needed in NXT. He's needed in NXT UK. He cannot get called up. Keith Lee can honestly be called up tomorrow, and we'll probably be all fine with it. I don't think he's the one taking down Adam Cole. I don't think he's going to maybe win the North American Championship. He could, Maybe he can win the tag titles with Dijakovic. But Keith Lee is good. Damian Priest, I think they're brewing something with him. And I don't think he's ready enough for the main roster. And I think they know that. Matt Riddle and Ciampa, they're ready probably for the main roster, but they're already over. Matt Riddle got a spot where he pinned Randy Orton, a legend. Ciampa was second to last. And he got a lot of, he had a lot of stuff in this match. Keith Lee, he was a star. They chose him as the star of all people, not Walter. Walter was the first guy. And I'm partly, and this is a conspiracy theory to a certain extent, but we don't want to get rid of Walter because Walter's desperately needed in this show,
Yeah. He's the big monster heel in NXT UK.
They can't have him. They can't have him lose.
And he's a champion. Like he's the guy people need to aim to beat. And if he's not there, then who will it be?
Plus, if you're Walter and then you know for a fact that you're going to be in here for like 3 minutes, why hurt your hand so much chopping these fools?
He didn't even chop them that well.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Why should he chop them that well? He's only going to be there for 3 matches. He's not going to be showcased in any capacity and to make him actually look good. Just do your best, do your moves, and hopefully that gets you enough room in the door to be like, oh man, maybe I'll be interested in NXT UK. Watching Walter did not make me interested in NXT UK. You can maybe say the same thing about Tony Storm. They did not make me interested in NXT UK. What made me interested in NXT this weekend was Rhea Ripley and Keith Lee.
Yeah,
and probably Adam Cole and Adam Cole. Realistically,
yeah,
I'll tune into NXT USA for those people. So I guess we'll see where we go with that, Mikey. What was your rating on this match?
I gave this match a 3. That was fine.
Okay, let's move into another match, which was
the next match, the women's Survivor Series match, because I refuse to talk about the Brock one.
Oh, okay. That's the bit we're going for. You don't want to talk about the Brock one. Well, I'll talk about the Brock one, Mikey. Why don't you want to talk about the Brock one?
Brock
Tell me about
Lesnar.
it.
Fuck this whole... No. Brock Lesnar versus Rey Mysterio got 0 stars. Fuck them. Not Rey Mysterio. Fuck Brock. I'm done. I'm over it. I'm over Brock. I'm done. I can't anymore. I absolutely cannot. That's it.
You change your name to Peter.
Because I can't. Because I'm done.
Exactly. Pete Dunne. You're over Brock Lesnar. You're over Brock Lesnar winning a match. Can retain the WWE Championship.
I'm just over his stupid part-time championship runs. I'm done. It's so stupid. Like it ruins it makes the championship feel like nothing. It takes away from the championship so much. Always. And it's always the same fucking story every single time it gets a new challenger. It's like challenger comes up, challenger gets beat up by Brock, challenger has some sort of weapon, beats up Brock with it. Like Seth was the chair, Rey Mysterio was the pipe. Like, and then it's like during the match they're getting beat up, then they punch Brock in the dick and they come back, and then Brock ends up winning anyway. Like it's the same thing every time. It's like the same fucking formula.
Punched in the dick.
It's the same formula for every single Brock match. Like it's so annoying. I'm done. Like it's like I know I'm gonna keep saying it, but I'm just done.
I like this match. I gave it 3.25 stars.
I'm not. No hate on you for liking this match. You do you, man. Personally,
I'm just trying to be the foil here.
Nothing against Rey Mysterio. Nothing against the cool. Like, listen, Rey Mysterio and Dominic doing the double 619, doing all that stuff was neat. I'll give it to you. That was cool. But I can't. Just on my own principle of just I hate how they book Brock, and I hate Brock in the title in the being the ultimate boss fight of WWE. And I hate the cycle that always happens where it's like, Brock is on top, someone slays Brock. Brock gets it back, someone slays Brock. Brock gets it back. It's always Brock gets it back. Brock gets it back. Brock is always champion. Death taxes Brock Lesnar as a champion in WWE. That's it. I hate it. I'm done. I'm over it. I'm so unbelievably over it that I'm not even going to give a Brock match the time of day anymore.
I mean, I agree. I think Brock Lesnar as a character is tough to write for because he's this overempowering guy, and the overempowering guy for a certain extent probably should have the title. I think Brock when he's motivated, he's kind of like a Randy Orton type. When he's motivated and stuff, he can have great matches. This match was okay. It wasn't as good as the Daniel Bryan last year or the AJ Styles before, but it was a good match. Like we said, the family intrication, the pipe that was involved was kind of good. The double 619. I didn't like how they made fun of AEW, but I think they should have just done it. I thought it was good. It's just sort of like it's the hardest part about Brock matches is that like, and Rey Mysterio is a great person that sort of exemplifies that thing. Is that Rey Mysterio is the ultimate underdog, and you really fall in love with Rey Mysterio, and then you fall in love with the idea that he might win this match. And he has the numbers, he has the pipe, he has the advantage, and then Brock wins and it deflates you. It doesn't, and you might agree with this, it no longer makes me heated at Brock. I'm just deflated. Where
that's how I feel. It's like whenever Brock walks out with the championship, I'm just like, and all of my excitement for this pay-per-view is gone. Whatever matches after this, I immediately care way less about because I know it doesn't make a fucking difference. And WWE is going to keep doing the same thing they always do. No matter how much they say they're going to listen to us, they never fucking will.
It's tough. It's a tough one. And I'm not wholly on board with it all, but I think if you're going to book it, and if he was available, if we had this match, Mikey, we would... One thing that we've learned from doing Hit the Books for so long is that there is something to just making your thing exciting and doing something that could be really exciting move and could get you really good story stuff opportunities.
But there's always something to just going people's expectations and being like, yeah.
What would have been awesome to me is that Rey Mysterio gets involved, Dominic gets involved, Cain Velasquez gets involved. Rey Mysterio.
I think that's what they're waiting for. They want. Well, I guess after the Raw tonight, spoilers. Rey Mysterio wins the United States Championship.
So they're not doing that.
But that's what I figured was happening. I guess after Brock won, I was like, oh, they're waiting for Cain to come back. And once Cain comes back, then it's gonna be Brock and Rey one more time, and Cain's gonna be the deciding factor to get Rey the WWE Championship again. But
I don't think that's going to happen anymore, sadly.
No.
I think maybe Cain will eventually win it off of Brock. I think maybe that's what they're planning. Cain's just doing some training or whatever.
Which is also ridiculous because not anything against Cain Velasquez, but like there are these guys that have been working with you for years and years and years and years and years and haven't even got a taste of that title, and you're like, oh, Cain Velasquez, look, you show up, you're brand new, you've never wrestled before, and here's your shot at the title. Like, what the fuck is that shit? Yeah. Like, stop.
There's something to...
They're so concerned with bringing new people in, but they don't give a shit about the people that are already here and that have been here.
This is part of my diatribe about the ratings and why the ratings are so more important. Because a lot of people on the internet devalue the ratings, and I think they need to ignore that. Because a lot of their complaints about WWE at large are mainly in the concept of looking at the ratings. So looking at the ratings of Raw and SmackDown and the WWE product, Mikey, one of their bigger audiences is what demographic? Quiz for Mikey. What demographic is one of the bigger audiences for WWE currently?
It's either guys our age or children.
No, incorrect.
Really?
50 plus. 50 plus really? is usually their bigger demographic.
Wow, that I would not have expected.
I mean, look at NXT versus AEW last week. NXT beat AEW in the demos, in the overall viewers watched or whatever. AEW beat them in every single demo except for 50 plus. 50 plus is like where Raw and SmackDown shine, and that's where their viewers come from. Is from these 50 plus people. It's from these old timers that remember Stone Cold, that remember Brock, that remember Undertaker, that remember John Cena, that remember The Rock. That is the reason why all of these people constantly are coming back, is to appease the old timers. Not just Vince McMahon. We're not appeasing Vince McMahon. We're appeasing the old people that watch the show. that remember all these people back when I watched them when they were younger. We have to showcase the smaller guys, but like your big guys will always, your part-timers and all these things will always be more important because that's who important to your bigger audience of 50 plus. Plus you're talking about commercials and stuff and you want to keep those numbers and keep commercials coming in and you got to keep them in somehow. So they're stuck. They're not a cool product because obviously the people they're favoring towards are the older crowd. So it doesn't feel cool because it's not for hip young teens. If it was for hip young teens, I mean, Rey Mysterio is kind of old, but we would all love it. If they put the title on, look at our show. Our show for Hit the Books is written from the perspective of hip young teens, 20-year-olds, are writing SmackDown Live, who are our champions. We have, for Christ's sakes, we have Kofi Kingston, Shayna Baszler, AJ Styles, The Pure. Shayna Baszler, put the title on her. AJ Styles is the oldest guy of the bunch, probably. Kofi Kingston, still pretty hip. The Pure, the Revival, still pretty hip. You know, we're looking at, you know, long-term booking. You know, we've got plans for these titles and stuff, but like we're booking it from perspective. We have the whole future stars opportunity where we want to put over and make bigger, younger stars because we are trying to serve the younger audience, not the 50-year-olds. And I think that's the difference between our writing style, obviously, versus the current writing style, is that the writing style is for the older generation, not the younger generation. And that's why Brock Lesnar continues to be the WWE champion and continues to be the champion because that is who the older audience wants to see. If they want to see young people, we would see young people. We would see the Jungle Boys in the world wrestle, but we don't. If we wanted to, we would go to AEW.
Boys and the Janellas and the...
Yeah. And that is why AEW, they're pushing all these younger crowds because their audience is the younger crowd. Is 18 to 40, 18 to 32 or whatever. But yeah, that's my diatribe of the ratings. But let's get into the final match, which was, like you talked about, that you wanted to skip over into, which was the Shayna Baszler winning the triple threat match between Becky Lynch and Bayley. You talked about this as a negative, Mikey, about how this match ended with Baszler winning, which is awesome, but Becky Lynch standing on top after the match. You want to talk about it a little bit more?
Yeah, this match was fine. I liked Shayna Baszler tapping out Bayley. That was very interesting. That was a very cool ending. That was a very good way to get Shayna over. Becky wasn't in this match as much as I thought she was going to be. And at the end, I don't agree with NXT not standing tall. I thought it was weird. I thought it felt out of place, and I just thought it felt a little, honestly, a little petty on Vince's part. That NXT got more wins than Raw and SmackDown combined. I feel like he felt a little salty.
He wanted to put over NXT as the dominant brand of the night, but he couldn't end the night with NXT.
He had to make sure the main roster.
Whoever made those decisions were like, we're not going to have NXT be on top.
Yeah.
Which is upsetting because it's like, they win the night, but then.
Because if they did, like, if NXT won the night and if NXT stood tall at the end of the day and Becky didn't do that attack, Seth's speech tonight about everyone sucking would have hit so much harder.
Yeah, I would say so.
But no, that didn't happen.
Or, conversely as well,
because
people will be more interested in watching.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, what I was going to say was that do what you talked about, is end the match, have Triple H come out, and really talk about, like, you just saw the domination, the new brand become the new A show, the new major brand, and have them, Triple H bring out all the guys, bring out all the girls of NXT.
It's like the Tommaso Ciampa line, right? Where it was Tommaso Ciampa came out when the OC showed up on NXT, and he was like, "Hey guys, welcome to the main roster."
Exactly. We are the main roster. We are the A show. We are what we talk about. We are NXT. We'll see you Wednesday nights. And the show of that. The whole point of this weekend should have been building up NXT, which it was just, it deflated that by having Becky stand tall.
Because God forbid Becky doesn't stand tall.
And this isn't a knock on Becky. We both love Becky.
No, Becky's great.
It's
just
the
way they're booking her is like, I get you want to do the man. I get you want her to be cool and like badass and like Stone Cold like, but sometimes those people got to take a hit. Like, they don't always have to be the top dog. They don't always have to be standing tall. Like, they were like Stone Cold never like didn't always stand tall. Like, he had his moments where he got taken down. Like that. Like that shit happens to people. That's what builds character. That's what makes them cooler. That's what we like to see. We don't like, because now you're making Becky Lynch the new Roman.
Yeah, what we talked about, shoving people down each other's throats, and we're definitely getting to that moment of the show. We're getting like into the latter half of the show of Survivor Series, which didn't like too much. We're getting to the more of the critical side of stuff, but it definitely was this thing about like, talking about shoving people down your throat. That felt like a shove down your throat moment of like Becky Lynch, Becky Lynch, Becky Lynch.
Yeah, and when you just wanted to be like, but Baszler won, but NXT though.
And think about it: if you just left Baszler on top, NXT come out, we'll see you Wednesday nights. When Baszler shows up, Becky Lynch is like, "I want you. I want to beat you." You because Becky's defended because she didn't tap out. Bayley did, but Becky is like, "I want this person. I want to get my revenge." Yeah. Bayley would want the same thing. But,
it just feels weird.
Yeah. It's just sort of like, and I think people agree. I would honestly, like, based on what I saw in the internet reaction, I think people sort of agree with that. I think, not to speak on the world at large, but it's just sort of something like, are you sure about this one, guys? I mean,
WWE always does this shit. They always have like a pretty decent to good show, but they can never finish it off. They always fuck up the ending somehow. And that's what I think makes everyone not want to tune in, because every time I watch a WWE pay-per-view, I'm like, honestly, I was enjoying Survivor Series, and then Becky beating up Baszler left a bad taste in my mouth, and I went to bed upset.
Well, also the Brock thing.
That is separate. That always makes me pissed off, because at this point I've come to expect that Brock's going to win some title or defend the title at a pay-per-view, period. Like,
it's rough. It's rough. And it's a sad ending to the show, but it's a sad ending to Survivor Series. I gave this match, 2.25 stars. I to talk about the match critically as well, not just like the booking decisions, the creative decisions, but I thought this match was 18 minutes long. We could have cut 5 minutes out of this. The Fiend Bray Wyatt, Daniel Bryan. The Fiend Bray Wyatt was 10 minutes. The Brock and Rey Mysterio match was 7. Adam Cole Pete Dunne was 14. This match was 18 minutes. It didn't have to be 18 minutes. It felt like it dragged.
It felt long.
And it was a drag.
But it was not fun to watch.
It was, and it also doesn't help that the show, the middle of the show, it gets exciting, and then when it starts dragging at the middle, near the end, and my energy is dying as well, because it's it's an endurance process as well, right?
Yeah, it just sucked, especially like the last 2 matches back to back really just killed the whole energy. So like I was into Survivor Series and I was liking it. I was pumped that Keith Lee got put over. I was pumped that Keith Lee was looking good. And then Brock Lesnar happened. I was like, all right, whatever. It's Brock. Of course they're gonna do it. Of course. And then this match happened, and I was like, all right.
Yeah, it's just, the crowd's dying. You're losing people.
The crowd was. Did you notice that the crowd was absolutely fucking silent this match?
Yeah, it was a little bit of a boring match. We're all tired from what's happened in this show because they've been sitting there exhausted
because Brock still has the WWE Championship.
Yeah, they feel deflated after that match.
It really was annoying too, because they popped hard for when Ray and Dominic did the thing. They popped hard and they were like, "Oh my god, Ray's gonna do it!" And then as soon as Brock pinned Ray, everyone was just like, "And we're done."
And what the problem is like
it's like the air got knocked out of the room. Like
exactly, exactly. They were getting tired already. Rey Mysterio would have popped them huge if Rey Mysterio won it. And then end the night with Baszler winning and NXT being like, "Yeah, see you on Wednesdays." and then the entire crowd is chanting NXT, NXT. If you make it a quick match, like cut 5 minutes out of it, make it a 13-minute match. I think it would have been a better ending. I think this whole ending as a whole could have been better. I think deflating moment followed by a long, dragged out match makes a little bit of deflating Survivor Series as a whole.
Yeah.
Again, 2.25 stars. But that's our review. That's our review of War Games and Survivor Series. Mikey, we talked about it. We did the shows. Like we said, it was fine or whatever. We will see you all next time. Next time we review, which will probably be an All Elite Wrestling review.
Most likely.
In February. No, January will be Royal Rumble. So we'll see you next.
There we go.
We'll see you next in the next review in January at the Royal Rumble. Unless we decide to review Wrestle Kingdom.
Or TLC, but...
Well, TLC is on a Big Five. TLC would have to be... We only reviewed the non-Big Fives. We're hyped about the cards.
Yeah, that's true.
But there's also January 4th and 5th, which is Wrestle Kingdom.
I guess we'll have to see what TLC is all about.
Yeah. But we'll talk about it. So until then, if you want more of that, if you want to stay tuned for possible TLC, possible Wrestle Kingdom, but definitely Royal Rumble, then I would suggest subscribing to the podcast feed of your choice so that you can get more shows like this in your feed. Of course, you can also see the show on YouTube, like you're already watching it. If you are, Hit the Books YouTube, Hit the Books Podcast on YouTube. Follow us on Twitter at HitTheBooksPod and leave a review if you like this content, and we would greatly appreciate it. And like I said, definitely consider subscribing to get more stuff like this. Mikey, we're done. We're out of here. War Games Survivor Series. On a high note, Mikey, hit me with the highest note you got. Nailed it. And for that, Mikey, I am Ryan. With that, everybody, have a nice day.
Hold one. Arm drag.
Don't tell me!